My name is Osgood Perkins, and I'm the writer and director of The Monkey.
After Longlegs was such a hit earlier this year, many folks are wondering what is up next from Oz Perkins. Well, we won't have to wait too long for that because his adaptation of Stephen King's The Monkey drops next year. Does The Monkey have anything in common with Longlegs, and does this new clip that's just been released make it seem similar to another popular horror franchise? Well, let's get it.
That's enough.
But Oz, I just started the video. We haven't even made it through the intro yet. I mean...
That's enough.
Okay, Oz, I'm sorry. Please, just don't hurt me with your satanic orbs. Hey everybody, I'm KillJoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Today we're talking all about 2025's The Monkey, but before we get into that, we have to talk a little bit about the short story it's based on. Stephen King's short story collection Skeleton Crew was published in 1985 to great acclaim. Although King had been popular for a while since the success of 1974's Carrie, he was often criticized for his sloppy craftsmanship. This short story collection would see a turning point for the author, featuring more complex narratives and some of his most memorable works. For instance, The Mist and The Jaunt were featured in this collection, which I think are some of his most influential shorts. The Monkey was first published in 1980 in Gallery magazine, but then would drop in this short story collection 5 years later. The little dude and his symbols are even featured on the cover. The story follows two brothers
in a van. And then a meteor hits.
Dennis and Peter, who come across a Call of Duty Zombies-styled symbol monkey that they find in their late father's attic. This one may not distract the undead until it explodes, but it does cause people to die in mysterious ways. The short story is seemingly inspired by The Monkey's Paw and Edgar Allan Poe's The Murders in the Rue Morgue. All of these stories contain similar themes and monkeys. You can look at the symbol monkey as a thematic device for the Freudian concept of the id, which, if I remember correctly from my college psychology class, deals with fulfilling one's most basic primitive desires. In this case, it could be interpreted as Hal, who is the father of Dennis and Peter, his unresolved childhood trauma that is only ever hinted at in the short story itself. Or the much more simple approach, it's just a cursed toy that when it bangs its symbols together, someone dies in some mysterious and awful way. Don't dwell too much on the Freudian concept I just threw at you, because it seems like Osgood Perkins is focusing much more on the thing I just said. It's just a cursed monkey toy. With that approach, some humor comes along with it too. In a recent interview with EW talking about his initial pitch, Osgood Perkins says, "What if it's a comedy? Here's this monkey that doesn't do anything. It's not Megan, it doesn't attack, it's evil just in its existence. Things happen around it for no better reason than they do. Its presence makes people die in insane ways. Everybody dies whether there's a monkey or not. What if you could do this with a smile? Process the fact that everybody dies. And what an insane surrealist notion, dude. You will die, we'll all die. That's crazy shit." To do that as a comedy feels very apropos. As well as keeping the story very existential, it's also sticking to the family concept. Lead actor Theo James said that the film is an R-rated family movie. It's hyper dark, but also has heart to it. Producer James Wan also thinks it's really funny. Trust in James Wan. The feature film's story is tweaked a little bit from the short, however. The film just focuses on those twin brother characters, except they're called Hal and Bill here, and they're played both by Theo James. They discover the monkey at a young age, and it leads to horrific, unexplained deaths all around them. They discard the toy and go on with their lives, leading different paths, but must reunite once the inexplicable deaths start happening again. It sounds like thematically it's still staying true to that original short story, because it does sound like we're going to be dealing with some family issues, like maybe kind of getting distant from a sibling and then reconnecting with them later in life. Because, you know, after all, they are family.
There's always room for family.
And just like Osgood Perkins said in that quote I was talking about earlier, it also deals with the fact that we're all just gonna die one day. So let's tell that story with a smile on our faces. I like that. Some notable cast members are Theo James, as we were talking about earlier, from the Underworld franchise, playing both Hal and Bill. Christian Convery will be playing the young version of this character, which we'll likely see towards the beginning of the film. Tatiana Maslany is in the film, who is of course She-Hulk, Elijah Wood from Maniac, and of course Frodo Baggins, and Rowan Campbell, everybody's favorite new Michael Myers replacement.
Bring you a little milk.
Yeah.
I like milk though.
I think most people know Osgood Perkins from Longlegs from last year, but I also really enjoyed Gretel and Hansel and the Black Coat's Daughter from 2015. I still think that last one there is his best film that he's written and directed. Give it a watch if you haven't seen it yet.
Everything okay up there?
The first trailer for the film gives off goofy Final Destination vibes, as it's basically the same concept being explored here, but make it quirky. The same formula of people finding the monkey, they play with the monkey kills someone, the monkey gets discarded, and on to the next person who finds it. I'm guessing that Theo James's characters will kind of be like Devon Sawa in the first Final Destination. He knows what's going on, but maybe all the other people affected by that flight don't. Replace Flight 180 with a symbol monkey, however. Although you gotta give credit to Stephen King, he kinda came up with that idea well before the 2000 film. Mad props to the real master of horror here. This is gonna make 2025 especially interesting because we also have a new Final Destination film dropping next summer. It's gonna be really cool to see which film explores that concept better, the sequel to the original franchise or the more like art house neon version. Hey, we'll know soon. Bring on 2025, baby. Mr. Perkins gave us a bit of a present on Christmas Day as well by dropping the first clip from the film. Basically, it's an old lady who I think hears a song that maybe emanates from the symbol monkey. It's coming from somewhere in her house. She goes down into the basement with a fully loaded Magnum, at least I think it's loaded, falls through her wooden staircase into a bunch of fish hooks, pulls them out of her face, and then for absolutely no apparent reason at all, she puts her head way too close to a stovetop burner as it lights her head on fire. She runs outside and it cuts before she is likely impaled on the sign in front of her house. That's the kind of ridiculous, nonsensical energy I've come to expect from Perkins movies. Speaking of that, I'm especially excited to see the monkey because I think it's going to focus much more on one of the strongest elements that I've seen in Oz's movies, the humor. Although Longlegs was marketed as the scariest horror film of 2024, I found it to be the goofiest. Nick Cage was seemingly allowed to do whatever he wanted in all of that makeup, and it makes me crack up every time I see it. Then the twist being all about satanic orbs was the icing on the cake. It's an effective Silence of the Lambs parody that features incredible performances from Micah Monroe, Nick Cage, Alicia Witt, and Blair Underwood. The point being, if Longlegs didn't scare you, it might have made you giggle. I'm already smiling as wide as that monkey toy watching some of these deaths unfold in the trailer, like the lady diving into electrified water or the baby carriage on fire. That's another thing I love about Osgood Perkins movies, the imagery. The monkey here is clearly no different just based on that first trailer alone. The monkey seems to be doubling down on the goofiness of Longlegs, which is why I'm even more excited for it. I think this could be my favorite Osgood Perkins film to date. I do wish that Nick Cage was playing the symbol monkey, but we can't get everything we want in life, can we? The monkey bangs its symbols together on February 21st of 2025. It's coming from Neon, the same studio that put out Longlegs, as well as some of the best horror films from the past few years, including Infinity Pool and Possessor. This is not one to miss.
You can see the rest in theaters February 21st.
Hey everybody, before we wrap up today's new video, please make sure to subscribe to this page. I'd like to hit at least 28,500 subscribers before the new year, so please hit that little red button and make it sloppy. Are you all excited for the monkey? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.